Hi platform, my name is Josh Dillon, I'm playing Jude McGregor.
My name's Kiké Brimah and I play Minerva Hadley.
I'm Jack Rowan, I play Callum McGregor.
And we are going to answer some questions that you have submitted about our new show, Noughts and Crosses.
Play another character in the show, who would it be?
Whoa.
Interesting. Jude's a kind of saucy character, and it's the only.
Saucy.
It was the only one that would. Yeah, he's not as basic as just.
There's some stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'd play Seffi.
Yeah.
I actually would.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a great part.
In that case, I'll play Kamal.
I'll play police officer number 2 in the first scene.
I would play Jasmine. I'd play my mum. I think she goes through a lot, and there's depth to her, and. Yeah, I'd love to play something very dramatic, like Jasmine.
You'd be great.
I would, wouldn't I? Yeah.
Okay, gang. Why is this the night time? Why is this the night time? Why is this the right time to adapt this book?
Because the fact that we have to still have this conversation is why it's the right time. Because privilege is out there, because police brutality is out there, and TV is supposed to be, well, I think at times, a reflection of what's going on in real life, and in order for people to see things from a different point of view or get conversations starting or action starting, they need to see it. So yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
What was your favourite scene to film? Well, do you know what? Throughout the whole show, pretty much my favourite scenes to do were with Masali. Because, I don't know, Callum and Seffi get up to some mad stuff. And I don't know, I just looked at all of my filming days always and I was like, sweet, get to film with Masali. I mean, and it was always, the stakes were always high. I
quite liked all of the scenes where we had like loads of extras. So like the big crowd scenes, it was just sort of nice to see it all come together and
all the costumes and stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like really bright and colourful.
There were some real characters knocking about in South Africa, I'll tell you that for nothing. I think some people there weren't quite sure what they were doing, or they had absolutely no idea what the story was about. So it was jazzy. What was, Kiké, the most challenging part of working on Noughts and Crosses?
Oh my God.
When we were doing the marching in Mercy Point, and we got to wear those, like, it was almost like a bloody pool table on us. Do you know what I mean? It was like really thick velvet. Do you remember that? Well, you didn't wear one.
But I remember watching it.
You were watching it.
And it was really, really hot that day as well.
It was
I remember.
actually boiling, and like we had nothing on underneath, so it was just like what's it called? Like felt sticking to the body.
Itchy.
That was challenging, I suppose. I was getting burnt.
Yeah.
To fuck.
It was really, really hot. Yeah.
To a crisp. What do you hope the audience will take from the show?
I hope the audience will take, which is a good thing and a bad thing, the similarities with the show and the book and life right now, and just sort of start those conversations and why are things the way they are and why do I have this perception. I'm really hoping it opens people's minds.
Yeah. It tackles quite relevant things.
Yeah,
you know, even in the first scene, like police brutality and stuff, even something like that. Or
there's this one scene that I remember when I first read the book that completely stood out to me, and it was the thing about the plaster. And I remember really looking forward to seeing how they were going to do that on screen. And then I remember seeing Callum's like cut his finger, and then Seffi comes over and she puts a plaster on his finger, but the plaster's too dark for his finger. And I remember reading that in the book and just being like, that is so mad, because I've never in my whole I've never ever thought of it like that. And just little things like that, I really hope that it translates.
And it's something so minuscule as like a plaster. You wouldn't think, like, I think everybody kind of goes, what, plasters?
In what ways is the world of the show similar or different to our own?
It's set in supposedly London, an alternative version of London in what I would have thought is modern day, right? So it's similar in that sense that you kind of got the same city, but it's massively different. I'd say it's like, it asks you to reimagine what the world would look like if it wasn't kind of European in the way that perhaps it is now, in a lot of ways.
I think from the point of view of like the Hadleys, I think it's the same in a sense where if the world favours you, I'm not going to question it. So the Hadleys are sort of the epitome or in this world of like black privilege, and Minerva, for example, she doesn't care about like the Noughts or anything that concerns them. And I think that there is, unfortunately, that group of people now who are sort of like, well, the world is in my favour, and I'm not going to question it, and I'm not going to look at it from another point of view because it doesn't affect me. And so something like this is so great because it's in your face, like, look, have a look, see this, what do you think of this, starts conversations, that sort of thing. So I think that's still the same.
What was the best part of working on Noughts and Crosses?
So I would say just being able to travel somewhere like South Africa where I never would have, it wasn't on my radar, it was never like somewhere I thought I'd go. So in that respect, it was fun to travel.
It felt like a real adventure. It's a massive story, and it's really challenging, and it required a lot of kind of thinking constantly. And I think it brought the best out of us, hopefully. You know,
and pushed. You know, if we look at it from an actor's perspective, it did push us all.
And I think also Noughts and Crosses is genuinely one of my favourite books. So I think being a part of my favourite book was really dope. And I remember reading, it was dope, man. I remember reading the book and thinking, I love Sephi, I love the character of Sephi, but I could never be Sephi. But Minerva, I could definitely be her because she's a bit more of a bitch. And then getting the part was like, that was cool. And so just being able to explore one of my favourite characters in one of my favourite books was really surreal.
Comes full circle.
Yeah, it was really, really surreal.
We were stepping into something that was pre-existing. So, which was really nice because then you kind of have loads, you have the books to like go back to and draw on constantly, and there's already a kind of, the world has been created.
Did you read the book before you were cast, and what did you think of it? Yes, I did. I didn't read it when I was young though. I read it, I was 22, so I read it back in 2016 I think, just because I heard that they were thinking of making it into a production, so I thought, let me read it. And like I said already, I read it, absolutely loved the book. I think I read it in 3 days. It just got me thinking about like life and the parallels with the book and now. And
did you read it when you were
no, do you know, I hadn't read it before, but when we did the audition process, like I didn't really want to read the book until I got the part, if I got it, because I mean, if you know what I mean, you get too emotionally invested in something, and then if you don't get it, it's fucking heartbreaking. You know what I mean? So, but then it was exciting to go into a shop and buy a book and go, oh shit, I'm gonna play this guy. You know what I mean? So it was only until after. You were a fan of the book, right?
I was a big fan of the books.
Really?
Sincerely, I read them when I was younger. My brother and sister did. I don't think I was taught them at school, but I remember it just being a thing. It was a kind of a bit of an iconic thing. But this new copy of the book with your beautiful face on,
cover.
I'm going to read this one, and I think it's going to be even more special.
Has being on the show informed the way you think about race? Jack, has it?
In the book, Callum he goes to a cross school, but in our story he joins a cross military. And like before we started filming, so I went to like the middle of nowhere in South Africa and like did some military training. And like I was like, there were about 100 young lads there, and I was the only white guy. They didn't know it. I was an actor in a show. There was no film crew there. This was pre-filming. So naturally everyone would be like, who is this guy? Like he's got an English accent, I just don't know what his deal is. So there was just that natural kind of isolation, and being lucky to have been grown up in London, which I've always grown up with, very like, you know, multicultural. It's a multicultural place, so I've never been exposed to even remotely feeling that way. But the whole point of doing the military training was to kind of help the process of Callum in a way. When we then went to the filming days, all these lads were told by, you know, a third AD and stuff to, you know, don't talk to him, just give him dirty looks every now and then, just isolate him, keep him isolated. After about a week-long filming, you're like, man, this is getting to me.
Yeah.
And I suppose like some people have to, so in answer to that question, some people kind of may go through that every day, and I haven't even, I only tasted the tip-top surface of what that might feel like, but you can't change it. It's something, it's in your voice, it's in the way you look, and maybe sometimes in the way you dress. I don't know, it's something you can't change.
I guess it was nice to be on the other side, really, to sort of live in a world where being across or being black sort of benefited you. And I guess I sort of understood why you would never want to change that, because it does benefit you. And I could see like the pros and cons of that. Obviously it's at the detriment of so many other people, but if something if something isn't bad, why would you want to change it? Not saying that that's a good thing, but I guess I'm just seeing it from a different point of view.
And like seeing what things are taken for granted in society, like what is classed as normal.
And as a whole, like hopefully our show here can do just that. Someone who has never been exposed to something like that may watch it in a different way because it's kind of totally reversed everything.
Yeah, I hope so.
And not be afraid to question things. Like, if I do have this opinion about something, where has that come from? Because most of the things we think, we're conditioned to think it. Like, why would I never question that there isn't a plaster that matches my skin tone? But if it says nude on the box, then it should be nude for me and other people. Just little things like that. You're just sort of conditioned to think that's normal.
What was the audition process like for us all?
I did a self-tape. The very first time I did a self-tape, and it was awful. It was so bad. I know everyone always says that, but honestly,
did you get it?
It clearly wasn't. It was clearly brilliant.
No, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It was clearly
I'll show you after. It was
I'd love to see it.
I actually want to see it.
Okay,
now.
it was really bad. So I did a self-tape, then I got recalled, and then got the part.
So I had about 3 auditions, and then I landed it after the 3rd one.
Yes.
And then I had chemistry reads with people going for Seffi. And then they were flying this girl over from South Africa, and I was like, well, she's obviously going to get the part. But they're flying her over, you know what I mean? And then it happened to be Masali, so yeah, but it was like any other, really.
Do you do this thing where you're in the audition room and then you look at everybody else and you think, oh yeah, they look like they're going to get it, or they look more like the part. Everyone else looks more like the part than you do.
Well, when I was waiting to go in, there was other lads there, and they were all like bigger than me, like muscular. And then Johan came out. And I was like, yeah, one of our producers, he's huge.
He's a big man.
He's a big man.
Yeah.
He is a big man. And all the other lads were like quite big. I was like, oh, maybe they'll have something to talk about. I come in like...
He was auditioning for Callum as well.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction to the script?
Ooh.
Naturally, there's going to be changes.
Yeah.
Like, with a book, you have so much more breathing space.
I didn't read this whole script until after I got the part. So
how dare you?
I know.
Yeah, shame on you for that.
I don't think it was sent to me, honestly. I think I'd literally just got the sides. So my reaction was I was excited because first of all I'd got the part anyway, so that pressure's
off
already
that
gone.
terrible self-tape.
This famous self-tape.
Yeah.
I'm going to leak it to the internet after this.
I'm not gonna
Can you imagine this girl got the part? I'm joking.
And no, I thought the script was dope. I liked how they'd adapted it. I liked how the characters were older, and I liked that it became like a bit more modern and dark. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. How does it feel to play such well-known characters? Let's answer that.
It feels massively exciting, I think, because you're sort of you're stepping into something that already exists. So loads of work has been done for you.
Pressure comes with
I was going to say.
Yeah, massive pressure, but also you kind of, I think you've got to respect that pressure, but then you've also got to just go, okay, I'm going to do what I feel is right and go with your instinct. Otherwise, it's not evolving, you know.
The pressure, it fuels you, as opposed to like going, oh no, like being scared of it. It's like having the chance to actually take something which has touched so many people and be the first people to bring it to screen. It's actually quite a great moment.
Yeah, like it's going to be your interpretation, and hopefully you've stayed true to the character, but not everyone's going to be happy, so you just got to go with it and just hope that they like it.
Yeah.
And I think you will.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
Subscribe to platforms.
So yeah, don't forget
watching. Subscribe to platform for more bookish videos.
Cool, lovely, awesome. So thanks for listening to us answer all these questions, and don't forget to subscribe to the platform for more bookish videos.